What's up, guys? Welcome to the Father Figure Fitness Podcast. We are produced at Rockwall Recording Studio right here in Rockwall, Texas. www.rockwallrecordingstudio.com for more details. Check it out. It's a cool-ass place.
Mendez, where would you shave?
In the sink, like a normal man. You wipe it out and put it in the trash can.
How do you prevent the little hairs from getting in there, though?
Little hairs aren't a problem.
Are you sure? Are you a plumber? I don't feel like you're licensed.
Why? Okay.
Show
in
me
my
your
defense,
pipes.
so I have to do my sinks like every week because I have 3 girls in my house, and there's hair from hairbrushes everywhere constantly. So
What do you mean do them?
I have to unclog them every fucking week.
How do you do that? What's your process?
Fucking pull it out and take the hair out. What do you mean?
How do you pull it out? You have like one of the ones that like sinks down, like the little...
You usually unhook it and pull it out.
Yeah, from the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm making sure. I'm just curious what your setup is.
Just the sink, man.
I got some that's like... I got one of my sinks is just like the strainer sink, so there's nothing to pull out. So like when shit gets...
My shower's like that.
Yeah, one of my sinks is like that too, so it's a pain in the
So
ass.
then you're safe.
I'm safe until it gets clogged like in the P-trap and shit.
Take the P-trap out.
Dude, do you see how much my hair is so coarse? It's coarse. Shit builds up like a fucking the plug on a hibernating bear's butt.
What?
I don't know what that means, but
You guys never heard of that? Okay, I'm not getting into that.
one's never heard of that.
This conversation's taking too many turns. How are y'all doing today?
I was good.
Are you worried about my situation now?
I'm worried.
You gotta text Amanda and be like, I'm sorry he hurt you.
Sorry.
It's a nice padding though, like for impact resistance.
What are y'all doing in there?
50 Shades of Gay. Just kidding.
Moving on.
I didn't start that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. You start everything.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all think about that submarine that disappeared?
Distraction.
I've been following it hard, dude.
Distraction.
Really?
It's like intriguing to
They're
me.
distracting you from what's actually going on.
What's actually going on?
I don't know. They're distracting us.
You think
everything.
Good point.
Okay.
Every election year, there's a freaking Ebola breakout or coronavirus. Like every election.
Is it
year, there's
election year?
No, but like they're getting ready for all the.
When is the election? 24?
Yeah.
They start campaigning this.
Yeah, like
They're distracting you from what's actually happening in the world.
Do we vote November this year or
Yes.
next year? It's
Yeah,
November
this
this year, right?
Yes, because they'll be in office January
No,
That's what-
they go on
No, no,
office
no, no.
January 25.
25. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I was about to say, no, I feel like he's only been in office. It does feel like fucking eternity.
It does.
Well, okay, do you think, though, if there was no distraction, we would still know what was going on? Like, who's going to tell us?
Podcasts
Which podcast do you listen to?
and real media. I mean, Tucker Carlson got like almost 70 million views his first Twitter video.
Right.
And like CNN only gets like 1 million. Fox News is declining too. I mean, it's like
Yeah, nobody's watching that
nobody
crap.
watches mainstream because it's all.
Well, it's not real news. It's opinions and propaganda. Well, I don't know about the submarine thing except for what my clients have told
It's
me.
kind of
about it.
crazy. Like,
So lay it on me because I haven't
Well, I mean,
done any research on
you
it.
probably know
I don't know the gist of anything. I really have no idea.
it was five passengers and then 1 or 2 like captains, whatever they are, and
Seaman?
seamen. Yes.
Okay.
So like but the thing can't function on its own, right? Like they had to have a separate device to get it down there, a separate device to tell it where to go, a separate device
I believe
to,
so.
Like, so
I don't- yeah. So
seems dumb.
well, they paid $250,000 a ticket to get on that thing.
Where do you have
And
nobles, Chase?
They 12,000 feet
Oh, 2
down.
minutes of my
they
question. Answered.
disappeared, bro.
Okay, shut up, because this is going to tell me in 2 minutes what
Yeah,
you...
but this is CBS. They're not telling us what we need to know.
5 people in the board for 10 ship by 13,000 feet underwater. Okay, so that's pretty
You
deep.
couldn't pay
Why would you want to go
That's
down
that's
there?
the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Ocean Gate, the company that operates a submersible, offers 2.5-hour underwater tours of the wreckage for $250,000.
It offered it. They're not doing it. anymore.
That's sad, but they canceled that subscription.
Cape Cod.
Is that where it's lost? That's where it is.
900 miles from there, so not really.
Or until Thursday. Well, shit, it's Wednesday, buddy.
Need that.
I'm just reading in silence.
Do you need music to read?
I can hear my thoughts.
That's because you're talking.
Well, it's like, yeah, what are they going to send down there to go get them?
An actual submarine.
Who's on board?
The guy who made the submarine is on board, so this guy and his son are on there.
Well, his name is Hamish. He deserves to go down.
Oh, that's sad. Him and Anna's son are on.
5 people at that one little window.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What is like the...
What part of this makes sense to you?
What's the... Is it... What's like the PSI down there? Like what crazy number is it?
5,000 PSI, meaning like if one little hole got in there,
It'll.
yeah, they're all crushed. I mean,
That's why it's bolted.
That's why I think
closed,
they're all
right?
imploded.
Yeah, they
but-
bolted it closed from the outside.
They think it got like crushed.
yeah, everybody's been saying that, but then all of a sudden today they've heard banging noises down there. Like,
What do you mean?
Using sonar, because sound travels through water.
Yeah.
They
Fast.
have radio down there. They can't do anything but sound. That's how they're able to
Detect where stuff is.
yes, and so they're analyzing the sounds that they heard this morning, because if it's them, then they have to get something down there now to pull them up, or they're fucked.
That's interesting.
That's crazy, man.
So would you do it?
No.
Before this story, before,
I would never go
Before this-
12,000 feet under the...
They're paying money to go down there. They couldn't pay me money.
Y'all ever scuba dive before?
Yeah,
no scuba diving.
I've been
snorkeling.
60 feet down.
Show for you
Plenty.
planned today.
Plenty.
I actually did a radar today, so
Ooh, teacher's pet, gold star, Robbie.
I hate him.
Yeah, I don't like him
Still
at all.
underway for the missing
He's an
Titanic
alien. He looks
tour
like
submersible carrying 5 people in the waters of the North Atlantic.
terrifying.
As of this morning, officials say the craft is carrying just 20 hours of breathable oxygen left. Late last night, Canadians conducting military surveillance in the area reported hearing underwater noises they say could indicate the group's continued survival. According to Rolling Stone, U.S. Homeland Security intelligence indicates the noise is a, quote, banging that occurs every 30 minutes.
Meanwhile, reporters have uncovered some troubling signs about the company that owns the doomed submersible, OceanGate. OceanGate's CEO, Stockton Rush, was recorded back in November speaking on the safety of the vessel, quote, you know, at some point, safety is just pure waste. I mean, if you just want to be safe, don't get out of your bed, don't get in your car, don't do anything. At some point, you're going to take some risk. Really is a risk-reward question. Rush is currently on the missing sub. Plus, reporters at the New Republic
He's
revealed
on
that
it?
OceanGate is currently being
Oh,
sued
man,
by a former
that's
employee.
terrible.
Claims he was terminated after raising concerns that the submersible was incapable of descending to such extreme depths as the Titanic wreck site. Now, meanwhile, a telling 6-month-old CBS report on the sub featuring David Pogue, who I've mentioned before, has gone viral. Let's watch.
Service. An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. Where do I sign?
Emotional trauma for sure.
Take your shoes off, that's customary.
Okay. Wow.
Inside, the sub has about as much room as a minivan.
So this is not your
Dude, I get
grandfather's
so
submersible.
claustrophobic in that thing.
We only have one button. That's
Wait till I get my
Should be
minivan. I'll let you
your
ride it.
elevator.
You know, it
It looks
shouldn't
more
take a
comfortable
lot
than
of
that
skill.
thing. Look at his
The
back all
Titan
hunched
is the
over.
only 5-person sub in the world that can reach Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea. It's also the only one with a toilet. Sort of. And yet, I couldn't help
That's the
noticing
problem.
how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
We can use these off-the-shelf components. I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Bro, I'm out.
Okay, but he's not wrong. Like, as far as like, there's an inherent risk in everything. Like,
Well, sure.
Just like because the whatever governing body is like, yep, give it a check.
But
They
if you're
don't
paying
know.
that much money for stuff,
No,
I'm
for
sure
sure.
it's top of the line.
No,
like,
I agree. Like, I mean, I'm not worried about the Camper World thing, but the control being a controller, that's a little rough.
that's sketchy, bro.
Have you been to Camper World? That place is dope.
I'm not.
It's pretty cool. A lot of stuff. Handles.
But like, why do you need to go down and see the Titanic?
That's what everybody was saying. It's like it's a grave site. Why are you? It's not a tourist destination, and it's so far down deep.
You ever been to
There's
New
not
Orleans?
even a recovery vehicle that could get down there.
That's what I mean. Like, what?
Because we're humans and we like to do things other people don't.
Is
get
that
to
the
do.
deepest part of the ocean?
No.
No, that's a Mariana
close.
Trench, dude.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That- even
I just
that's-
offended all three of you.
Questionable.
Well, they haven't been to the bottom of it,
They've
what's-
only traveled 5% of the ocean.
but not deep.
But I thought they.
Width.
They don't know.
So what's the deepest part right now?
Mariana Trench.
Mariana
I
Trench.
thought that's where Titanic was.
No, that's off the east coast of Lake Japan, I think, right? Mariana Trench. It's like in the Polynesia area.
Yeah.
It's deep.
How deep is that?
Deep.
It's like the Grand Canyon in the ocean, so it's like it just drops at that point.
Well, I need answers.
It's probably like got like lava at the bottom. Yeah, there you go.
Look at it in the Western Pacific Ocean.
Oh, it's off the Mariana Islands. Now I know where it is.
Duh.
How deep is
Okay,
it?
well, deep at 124 miles. Oh, no. Okay, we're not getting any of the questions that we...
1,500 miles.
No, that's how long it is.
Oh.
It's only 43 miles wide. Yeah, they don't have like the most important answer.
They don't know.
How do they not know?
What are you going to send down there?
Sound.
35,000 feet deep.
Jeez.
So they're
to put that in
13,000.
perspective, yeah, they're at 13.
So it's 3 times as deep. as
What's
the Titanic.
going on down there?
Have you seen, apparently, the Meg.
Megalodon.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but apparently that's what happened.
We're always on the same page.
Megalodon?
He just...
Do you, okay,
That's what I
Now
used
we're
to
not
call
on the same page.
real question. Do y'all think there's something like that down there? Like that big? Like that crazy?
Whales are down there.
Okay, no, they're not.
I
Not
don't...
that deep.
I wouldn't...
Yes, they are.
No.
Yes, they
Travel.
are.
Look, Google. I saw it today. How deep do whales go?
Whales can't go that deep because
They
they
go
have to
like
breathe.
they go like 4,000 feet or something like that.
Yeah, anything that's a man...
They go past where you can... 1,000 to 2,000 meters.
That's not 35,000 feet. Dude.
Well, I didn't say 35,000 feet, but
7,000 feet.
they're down there.
Okay, so
They're not that deep, dude. 2,000 meters, that thing's... what is it? 13,000 meters deep?
feet.
The squid,
No,
the giant
13,000
squids are down
meters.
there for sure.
The
That's
Mariana,
13,000 feet. Oh, the trench.
Mariana Trench. I was
Yeah.
like,
There's giant squids down there.
there's stuff that can't...
Like, do you think there's like stuff we don't know about down there?
yeah, but it has to be stuff that can't get crushed by like the
Beaked
pressure.
Whales,
Huh?
Beaked whales can swim the deepest, and they go to 9,816 feet.
That's very
I
specific.
don't believe that.
So they can't even go as deep as the Titanic. That's awesome. I want to get better at swimming.
You got a long ways to go. You don't go down that far.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go there, but I just want to like. I'm reading that Art of Resilience. I maybe want to go swim so bad. Not like how he did it. That sounds fucking terrible.
Swimming's hard.
Stop talking about that.
Have you ever swam like a long distance?
No, that's what I mean. Like
hard.
My buddies in high school, like we would go like hang out like all summer, like my junior year, and they would go out like one of them had a lake house, so we'd go like swim out to there's like this raft thing that was like probably 100 yards out into the water. They would get there twice as fast as me.
right.
like legitimately
Stop.
twice.
The snailfish is 8,336 meters.
Below the surface, the tadpole shape.
The whale is only 2,900 meters.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a snailfish is, but
You're gonna find out though and tell us all about it. Now,
he's committed to the cause.
8,306. Okay. 27,000 feet. Mariana Trench, 35,000.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
it's almost as tall as Mount Everest down. Interesting.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, there's a place deeper than the Mount Everest is high. Is Mount Everest versus the ocean, or is that like from the base to the peak?
It's
Sea level.
sea level.
It's sea
sea
level.
level to yeah.
So I wonder what it is from like the actual base of it, because that whole area, because of like the whole mountain range there, the Himalayas, is probably
They're
elevated.
probably sitting at 10.
I wonder what the hey, what's the tallest mountain from base to peak? Not like from sea level.
So, our podcast today is just going to be Chase Google this so that we can learn. This is what I do in my free time.
Mount. Okay, so
Kia. The summit is over 6,800 feet, farther from Earth's center than Mount Everest summit. Mount Kia is the tallest mountain from base to peak at more than 33,000 feet.
Where's that at?
33,000
okay,
feet.
no,
So
but that's saying base like,
What you asked?
but like see, but it says from Earth's center. You know what I mean? Like not relative to sea level. I don't know how that works because like look at that
Mount
picture.
Everest is the tallest
Peak.
peak, but this one sits lower than Everest, but
It's deeper.
taller.
It's deeper in sea level. Yeah. 'Cause,
No, because it goes below sea level is what he's
Yeah,
saying.
it goes below.
no, I guess, but okay. Fair.
So it's a taller mountain,
It's
technically.
a taller mountain.
It's like an island, is why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, that's cheating. They were like, "Ha, bitch! Look at me, I'm underwater."
Did y'all know Hawaii used to be one giant volcano?
Yes.
Have you not seen Moana? Idiot. Hey, you gotta watch this Disney short called Lava.
It's pretty good.
It's so sad.
No, it has a happy
I
ending.
had a dream. That's good. That's good. Mauna Kea. It's like a kind of a car I'm gonna buy. Just kidding. I'm gonna Corolla.
When are you buying it?
Never.
Dude, remember when he was buying an RV?
I really thought you were gonna buy that RV too.
Dude, I was so close to buying that one. Actually, if I would have bought it, we called and they were like, we need like basically like cumulative $6,000 down between like the inspection stuff and like the payout and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't have that kind of scratch on me right now, man. Sorry. I was gonna buy that. I was really excited for that RV. I respect you a lot because I have the money to afford a car like on a monthly basis at a pretty easy, like I could pay for one way more expensive than looking, and I'm so indecisive. And you're like, I'm gonna go buy a fucking house. I'll figure it out later, and I respect that. I really do, because I don't have the,
to be fair,
financial fortitude to do that. I guess.
Sometimes you just gotta figure it out, you know.
No, agreed. I don't have like the somewhere in here. I'm just like, no.
It's not me. It's Carly.
Yeah, well, that's the same.
Dude,
Me and Amanda are both conservative.
I looked at every freaking full-size sedan I could research before I finally went and bought a Honda Accord.
Yeah.
So y'all do research like crazy. I don't at all.
Yeah, he's like, buy that one. Yeah,
I like it,
what, 2 days ago, he's like, buy that one, go. I was like, no, dude, I don't know how many miles it's gonna get. But you're right. Like my Nissan Sentra, it's got 245,000 miles on it. It's not on any list, like anywhere of like reliable cars. Like I've never even seen it mentioned. Not one Nissan, and yet I've been driving it forever. So I'm like, these lists are dumb.
Well, anything Japanese, they have a high standard.
But I'm saying like I've looked at top 10 lists, most reliable, under 15. Like I've looked.
I don't
at
trust those, man.
Yeah. Well, and they're so different. The only one that is consistent
It's
though.
all opinions, though, right? I mean, obviously there is a.
That Corolla is.
Yeah.
So what I do is I'll look at like a bunch of different sources and I'll find the common denominator. So like the Corolla is on every one. Honda Accord too. Both of those you'll find them on every like most reliable vehicle for long, like commuting. I'll look at like best vehicles for commuting and stuff. Always the same. So
Well, there is some truth to it for sure.
I mean, yeah, but ultimately you get the one. Like that's just how it goes. But I'm not looking for anything with any riz to it or anything. I'm just just being me. Just being me. Babe. I got a lot of other things that are good in my life. I don't need a nice car.
It's funny listening to him talk about it with people, like talking about it with Shannon, and Shannon's out there in an AMG Mercedes, and talking about it with John, and he's out there in his Porsche, and they're just like, I don't understand this at all.
They've been there though. They've both been broke.
It's not a broke thing. You're just like, I don't need it. Like that money can go to something else in my life.
Oh, I thought you meant like saying like I'm gonna get a $15,000 cap on this car.
Like I'm not saying what you can't afford. I'm saying
it's what they prioritize spend money on.
For sure.
What you find valuable.
For sure. I mean, I want a nice other vehicle. I just don't want to drive a nice vehicle to work 100 miles a day.
That's how I am too. Like I don't care about my car. Like,
but I mean, like we're talking about it, like shit. Hell yeah, I'd like to have a nice like that. I want a nice ass minivan, guys.
Yeah, but you put a man in that who doesn't
drive ever.
Yeah.
I want a truck. Really, I do want a truck. Like there's this redneck part of me that wants a big ass fucking truck. I show up and I'm just like, I'll park in 2 spots. Fuck y'all. But then I'm not that guy. That's just somewhere deep inside of me.
It's sad.
That's what I'm thinking about. I want to get a truck.
Yeah.
If you don't drive a lot, it's worth it because
it's either that or I'm gonna weld on a tow hitch on the back of my Challenger because I need to be able to eventually tow like a mini trailer.
I cannot imagine.
You're investing so much of your life into this little motorcycle. I love it, dude. It's become your identity.
And I'm getting a dirt bike.
Oh, nice.
My dad's gonna let me use one of his if I get it up working and fixing.
Hell yeah, dude. You're gonna open a shop, be a motorcycle mechanic. You should open like one that has like 2 garage doors. One garage door is the motorcycle shop. The other one's like CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
That'd be freaking dope.
Fucking drills going on all day. Just fucking
bikes and barbells, baby.
Bikes and barbells.
I'd be there.
That's a great name. Oh my gosh.
Man, I've never
bench press a dirt bike. It's fun.
I was robbed of it as a kid, so I didn't get to like do anything like cool. I didn't get to play football. I didn't get to do any of that. My mom was overprotective of that kind of stuff. I wasn't allowed to like go hunting. Couldn't do
Really?
any of that. No. So now
you're grown. I'm a grown ass man. Yeah. Hey, dude. Do it in your 20s. Have fucking fun. These 2 kids are riding dirt bikes. I rode them 5 years old. One's 5, like one's 7. And they're in these little mini dirt bikes. And one kid, like it stalls or something, turns off. And he's like, he had to be like 5, like 4 maybe. He's freaking.
I've seen him riding around out there. It's crazy.
His little feet didn't even, like he was like leaning down and he couldn't get it started again. And so the other brother's on his and they're just not clever enough to be like, walk yours over to him, let him hold it. And so I'm out there and I'm like watching, I'm grilling and I'm like, I need to go help these kids. Well, and I see my other neighbor, Joe's brother, Johnny. He walks over and is like, can I help y'all? He's like, I just need you to hold my bike so I can start my brothers. And they just hop on and starts his bike, gets it rolling, says, aims it in the right direction, puts his little 5-year-old
80 miles an hour later.
They get back on it and they just take off down the road. I'm like, dude, if you can't start it, you don't get to ride it. That'd be my rule as a parent.
for
But
sure.
because you're gonna walk down the driveway going, I don't know where I left it. But man, that's just country living, man. I just yeehaw, love it. All right, we were gonna talk about this the other day. City life versus country life. The pros and cons on, I think, health and wellness. Because I go back and forth all the time, but I truly believe country living is a better on the mind and the soul and the overall health. But there are some setbacks.
Define city living.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
because
where I live, is that city living?
No. I mean,
So suburban's like in the middle, right? Because you're like suburban.
yeah.
But it has urban in it, so I would say city.
Because
I can't
It's
imagine.
either you're in a neighborhood or in an apartment in a city, or you're in the country.
see, I couldn't do like that apartment in the city. I couldn't do that.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I guess
Where
there's-
I'm at though is perfect for me.
I guess
like
there's
what I
like
want.
3 layers, right? There's like city living, there's like suburban living, and then there's like
Rural.
y'all lost. You know, that's where we live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like where we live, it's like, I don't know whose car that is coming down the road.
Yeah.
And then you find out, oh, the neighbor just got a new car.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Or a new husband. Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
Well, that happens in the suburban life too.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, I've always been interested, like the expenses too, compared to living further away in the country. Because I want to get out of a neighborhood, dude. I want to be like that.
It depends on how much effort you want to put into your land too. Like, I mean, you can have like lawn service is going to be more expensive in the country. Like if I want someone to mow my acre and a half and trim my trees,
It's gonna be cheaper out in the country.
overall it's
Like
cheaper.
for the house itself,
like
the land
taxes,
is gonna be cheaper.
taxes, like all that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It depends on
But-
where it depends on the suburb you're in too. Like up here, everything's more expensive than the country we live in.
but we put 100 miles a day on our cars.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the other
That's why I'm buying a $15,000 car, because that's an expense that I don't like. If I lived in the city, I'd probably lease. I mean, 12,000 miles in a year. That's maybe you do that if you're like in the city. I do like what 35, 40,000 miles a year,
Yeah.
easy.
Dude, I do that.
I do
that just because I drive.
You drive and listen to music, yeah. I do like 500 miles a week just going to work.
Yeah.
But that hour drive can be good for you too. Depends on how you use it. Like it's a good detox for me. I get home and I'm just ready to be home, like with my.
Man, I was leaving at 6:30 yesterday after Adam and Chris.
Yeah,
I was like, thank God I don't have to drive an hour home. I
yeah.
literally had that thought turning out of the gym. I was like,
Well,
thank God.
thank you.
just go
I
home.
appreciate you thinking
Yeah.
about us.
Like I spend my hour drive there thinking about work and
Which is, yeah.
The hour drive home is way worse than the hour drive there. The hour drive there is like almost relieving because you get to wake up. I can turn on a show, get my mind rolling. I will literally turn off my show because I'm like thinking too much and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I like want to focus on work or whatever.
Yeah.
The way home, it's the opposite. Like I'll be sitting in silence for like 2 minutes and I'm like, I don't want to think, and I'll turn on something to distract me. So it's a totally different vibe.
Were y'all in the country before you started working at Studio Fitness?
Oh yeah, I've lived there my whole life. I grew up there. I was raised there.
So you just don't want to leave. You don't care how far you got to drive.
I mean, well, I bought a house for $50,000 on an acre and a half and to own it, and it backs up to my parents' 30 acres. So I live on a lot of land, and then we don't utilize it. Like, so it's the country living without like the farm work. You know, I live in the air conditioning in my house and drive to work, so I don't like get the benefit. But if I want to, I have the freedom to. And there's no HOA. I don't have to get a building permit to do anything. If I want to throw up a fucking 5-story tree house, I can, which is a positive for if you take care of your shit. It's a real big negative if your neighbors are a bunch of rednecks and they just have shit everywhere, because that can happen too. So
we both have that.
it's a catch-22. Yeah. So like my neighbors, they like have like, he's like a slumlord now. He's got like 5 RVs in his yard and he rents them out to people, like fifth wheel RVs. And I don't know the people.
And it's like literally you look out just his front door and that's what you see.
Yeah. Like, and there's cars, like it's Grand Central Station over there.
So what do you do? Put a 8-foot privacy fence in?
Right. And I can't say nothing to them. It's legal. So more power to them. So they're good people, luckily. Like they're not like bad people. If they were like malicious, I would have a bigger problem with it.
But on the flip side of that, Allison this morning in my class was telling us that she lime washed her brick on her house, and the HOA told her that if she didn't re-brick her house, they would put a lien on her house.
Yeah, dude, the HOA has power, dude.
No, and that's okay. So that'd be like I'd say anywhere where there's like
They told her you have to re-brick your house.
Yeah.
And she said, I didn't paint my brick. Like in the HOA agreement, it says you can't paint it. She said, I didn't paint it. I lime washed it.
Is she gonna get lawyers involved and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I wish I could do something to my neighbor next door, because he's like a hall monitor. I think he's like on the spectrum. Like Seriously.
I think you told me about him before.
Dude, this motherfucker. I'll leave the trash cans out, like, after putting it out the day that they're out, and like 12 hours later, if I don't get them back in, he's out there at night taking a picture and reporting it to the HOA.
No
saying,
shit.
I didn't get my trash cans back in time. It's like if something's off with our lawn. Part of the reason why we got new sod was because of him. He keeps reporting us. He reports any cars that are parked in the front. It's like, where's anybody supposed to park at our house?
Damn. That's a shitty neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, what's like hurting you?
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing to do.
Nothing, dude. He's like 40 and he lives with his parents.
He's that young?
Dude, yeah, I'm telling you, he's like on the spectrum. Yeah.
Get your shit together, dude. I didn't know Rainbow Estates was so fucking...
Dude, it's crazy.
Sounds very happy
it's
here.
Crazy.
No pot of gold in this bitch.
No, it's horrible. I hate neighborhoods.
Malicious people they are.
So would y'all ever move to like where I'm at, like a neighborhood like that?
I could. I did it in Roy City for a year. I didn't hate it. I didn't get to know any of my neighbors. But
I've pondered it for sure.
I'd have a hard time ripping my kids away from living next door to their grandparents at this point. It'd be less about like me living next to my parents, more about like they constantly want to be with my parents.
It's like a values things too, right? Because you can build, like, I like a community. Like, I'm a community type of person. So, like, I know my neighbors. Like, we have a good relationship. Like, we don't spend a lot of time together. Like, there's not, like, events or something. But if there is, like, welcome. They're welcome here. Same with, like, my family's just down the road. So, if I could find I just worry, like, it feels like in the modern world, like, those suburban environments, like, they're not as friendly as they used to be. And I don't know. I don't live in one. But, like, it used to be. You didn't have, like, Facebook or phones and stuff, so you had to like just be close to the people around you so you could build like a community. But now it's like, oh, my best friend lives across town, oh cool, that's who I hang out with. I don't go outside in the yard, I go hang out with them. So like there's no like need to have a tight-knit community. So if it wasn't like family and it was people I'm not going to interact with, I wouldn't want to be that close to everybody.
Yeah,
you know, I like your cul-de-sac though.
So we live in a good little area.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think it's a crapshoot. Like, do you have like get a shitty neighbor, and it's like now your lifestyle.
We have good neighbors.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we see a lot of people move all the time, because they're not happy with their little area.
The people around them just don't vibe. Yeah, and I think that's as much as anything, you know. And the houses are nicer. Like my house isn't terribly nice. You go to a suburban area, the houses are nicer. You get like lawn service for cheap because there's a volume of it. You get all the services and stuff for cheap because there's volume. So that's nice, as expense wise. And you have options, like you have a park, so you can go run in. And you have like all the amenities that come with the suburban area, like a pool and a park and all that stuff. So if you want to get in that group vibe, you can. I don't have that. I have to drive in. I mean, I have the country though, so it's like I don't need a park. I just go out in the fucking.
Carly's dad has a like just show up whenever you want. We don't, you know, and then it's like, oh, you're an hour and 20 minutes away now if we moved up here.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. We'd have to change our whole infrastructure of people we see.
Would you move like into the like where Carly he lives if like the price points were okay? Nah, you didn't want to leave that close to people.
No. I've driven around that neighborhood and it's a new neighborhood, so there's no HOA yet, and like you just drive by and there's a boat and a trailer in people's front yard because the houses are so cram packed. They don't even have the driveway you have, and they just have their boat parked in like next to the driveway.
HOA, it's a pain in the ass, but it's also a good thing because
I just think I would have a hard time with it. I'm kind of rebellious against like authority,
like,
and I'd be like, who the fuck is this? I pay freaking property taxes. Like, well, okay, well, you wanted to live here. This is the rules, and it's like, I get that, but leave me alone.
Yeah, I'd be the same way.
Yeah, like versus where I live, like I know I'll make it nice, but you don't get to tell me when. Only my ass gets to decide that. So it's nice. I think health wise, like as far as like quality of life, I get outside a lot, but I think you can do that in a suburban area too.
Yeah, I mean, like we're building up our backyard right now, and then so it's nice to go hang out there. And so we have a big backyard.
I'm adaptable. Like I could adapt to city living, but now I got the kid. Like it's just different with the kids. I'm not gonna uproot them.
Yeah, we've debated back and forth. I like Heath is nice. They like the acre properties. You know, you get this. Obviously, I can't afford those, but I'm saying like an ideal environment. Like you're near everything. You got all the nice restaurants. That's the cool thing about Heath. Is like, yeah, y'all got like everything off 30, like all the Marshalls and all the big box shit. But you got a lot of like quality like restaurants that are like mom and pop in a way, and that's nice up here. Like where we live, there's not a lot of options for that. Like you get like a few options. Like here, y'all have repeats of everything, and it's very quality for the most part. I mean, I know people eat it so much they kind of nitpick it up here, but it's
in
good
Baybank,
food.
it can kind of be like, you want to go to dinner? What hour drive are we making?
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally me and my wife the other day we drove to 7 Points. So we drove probably 25 minutes one direction and turned around and drove all the way back like 10 minutes from my house just to get food. Because we were like, there's no good options. It was terrible. And like we passed everything. Like we literally, we go, if you want something, better get it now because we're about to pass everything. And that's a 5-minute conversation. That's how our town is, you know? So that's a trade-off. I think some small towns have quality food, but we're just not one of them.
Ours does not. We cook.
Which is better, but.
So like you do, and I think we're kind of in that in-between phase where we live too now. Like not where my house is, but like the town. It's like it's growing, so the infrastructure doesn't really handle it perfect. So like on a Friday night, everything's packed, but it doesn't have enough people during the week for them to like make an investment in making more restaurants and stuff available because they'll go broke during the weeks, which happens a lot. And so you're like in that middle area. So it's like there's almost too many people for it to feel real small town, but it's not enough people to like get you nicer stuff.
Yeah, like the only sports bar we have, B&R. They don't even open on Mondays or
Sunday or Monday anymore.
Yeah. And it's just like, you're going to miss out on Sunday football, but.
Yeah, they just decided, like, because they honestly don't make enough money. And so.
And they close at like 9 o'clock.
Now, we eat a lot. We eat at home most of the time, so it's not that big of a deal, and it's kind of fun to drive, like, to get stuff. But everyday living, I mean, shit, you're inside 4 walls in your house with your Wi-Fi. Like, I mean, now. It's the same. Like
it is.
Like, you know what I mean? It's the stuff you do, like, when you get a bug up your ass. I think that's what makes a big difference. Like, do I want to go out and make something on my land? Live in the country. If you never get that bug up on your ass and you just want to go out to eat, live in the city, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I think
being around concrete's really unhealthy all the time. Like, I feel like it's a weird way to say that, but like living around concrete, like I don't get to see the country unless I drive all the way out to McLennan Chisholm and go on a drive, and I feel like just clear when I'm around nature.
Yeah,
nature's good for you.
Next to a hospital, and it's always on, and the lights are always on, kind of shining through to this neighborhood, and like it's just not natural.
I see what you're saying.
It sucks.
Yeah, no, they actually they're like building like, because we live like on a country road, kind of like imagine like 205 towards McLennan Chisholm, like just like how it's like a sporadic, there's houses and stuff. They're building like a warehouse out there towards my place, and like every night now they haven't opened the business yet, but they have like street lights and stuff. It's like probably 100 lights on this fucking building. It's like as big as the gym, a little bit, probably like 2 of the gyms, kind of like that complex we have with the gym and the other building. And I'm like, these poor people, it's out in the country, like it's in a pasture. Someone just bought the land and put this in there. I'm like, now the neighbors have lights on all night long that are bright. Like when I drive by, it's like, oh, is that Walmart? Like it's so fucking bright. And I feel bad for them. I'm like, man, these people like live here, pay their property taxes, live out in the country. And now they got this damn sunbeam next door. So I agree with you on that. Like I do like going out on my porch and like looking up and it's all stars and no light pollution.
Stars out here because it's so polluted.
And I can have a fire, like a big ass I can have a bonfire that almost burns my entire property down. Nobody can say a word to me. That's fun.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened twice.
Do what?
Nothing. Dude, I cut down one of those trees that fell down in my yard during that storm a few months ago. It was a cedar tree, and I cut like half of it, and I was like trying to be a strong ass man, so I drug half of it to the backyard and like didn't cut it into more pieces. And it was a bitch to do, but I got it close to the fire, so I had the fire built up, and it was probably the fire pit was probably as big as this room by the time I got all this other shit burned, and I threw that thing on top. When I tell you I had to back up like 50 feet to get away from the heat, and it's like there's trees that overhang over my fire pit, and I was like, I'm gonna catch the top of that tree on fire and burn this whole neighborhood down. Luckily I didn't, because it burned out fairly quick, but woo, country living, baby.
Yep. See, we don't have trees like that, so we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, y'all have a nice property. Like the whole property is nice. It is what it is. I think people in the country aren't as healthy, are health conscious, like as a whole. Like they eat shitty, eat a lot of fried food, and don't like actively do anything for their health.
Man, see, if I were out there, I'd be having steaks, I'd be eating natural.
Some people do.
Growing my own stuff.
For sure.
It's just a different, like, it's hard to even have friends out there that have any sort of like health conscious part of their brain. Like our friends Jacob and Destiny, we've taught them so much about how to eat.
Oh yeah,
like it's insane. We go to their house and everything's in a box or a package and like we just meat and produce. Like that's it.
Yeah, like you gotta. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I got a wife that cooks like badass for me all the time, and like I can grill and stuff. So we kind of keep it simple on that end. But
I saw those steaks you were grilling this past week.
yeah, that was a pack we both got. $7.99 at Brookshire's for ribeyes, man. I was like, hell yes. I only bought 2 packs. Yeah, he bought like 6.
I got 4 packs.
I did go. I think
So
I
I
got
bought 16 steaks for like $90.
Yeah, it was a steal. I had them today. They're so damn
I have
good.
2 left. I'm gonna make them when I get home.
I made all 4 last night. But overall, though, like the people, like you go into our Walmart, you ain't seeing like the hell, and like there's only Walmart. We don't got Walmart, Target, Kroger, Tom Thumb. Like you'll have
Everything.
You'll have Aldi, Fresh,
Costco.
like yeah, like literally every option.
Yeah, he shops at Costco up here. Like that's
Yeah, we got Walmart and Brookshire's, and then like $12 stores, and
yeah. There's somebody. They're building something right there next to Atwood's by my house. A little bitty pad. Carly goes, "What do you think that's gonna be?" I said, "Probably another dollar store."
yeah,
Because they're everywhere out there. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar. It's everywhere.
but they don't carry produce or anything, and that's people don't eat it. So they'll go in there and they're like, "This is cheaper than going to Walmart," and they'll buy the box shit off the shelves, and they'll just
Dollar steaks. You seen those?
no, but it's
dude.
horrible. So you get that. So I think but the flip side of that is you get a lot more like working class people and people that work outside a lot. So I think people are probably like pound for pound, well, not pound for pound maybe, but like they're stronger in the country, like in that they have more resolve physically, like they can go out and work all day versus a lot of time in the city, they're commuters or whatever, so they're softer. But the flip side is they probably eat better and do more like cardio in the city and like focus on like measurable health things.
Well, think about it too. Is like how many gyms around here? How many gyms do you have down there?
For sure.
It's just not a part of the life.
we have 2 gyms.
No, you like most country people though, they'll grow up like building fences and doing shit like around the yard. So like they build like a fortitude, but it's not health. It's just like
Hard work.
it's functionality and strength.
Well, and it's population too. Like the density. Like if y'all had a 24-hour fitness, like would it be used?
We have it anytime.
You do.
It probably would be, honestly.
Yeah.
But
They wouldn't build one out there though, just for that purpose.
they
though.
just know they're
Yeah.
like if there's any lull, they're not going to make their margins. The margins aren't great. That's why big companies don't come out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That Chili's at one point was like one of the worst, like 4 Chili's in the country.
It's amazing.
Like when Carly was driving from Maybank to Rockwall to wait tables at Chili's, people were like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because I've seen the rankings." And I'm not working at that one.
It's poorly managed. That's one I will say. Like, and maybe this is probably not the case at every small town. There's some badass little hamlets out there that are just killing it. But our town has the worst labor force I've ever seen.
So she actually went in. One of the last times we went in there, there's a guy managing it that she worked with at Chili's, and she's like, "It's so sad that they gave that guy a manager job because he's a fucking idiot." But they were like, "Are you willing to go to Gun Barrel City? Then you can have the job."
Yeah, it's just like we like have high turnover. Like you go into a place, you rarely see the same people.
We have not done a good job selling why we drive an hour to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, we drive an hour to work because there's money here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, money's going to breed a higher level of stuff always. Like, that's just
Like
facts.
we're not ingrained in the community of Maybank. Like we live 10 minutes outside of town. We drive to work. We go home. We don't communicate with people in Maybank.
There's
It'll be
certain-
different. We just registered Lily for kindergarten, so that's going to change somewhat. But
I tell Amanda all the time, like, if wherever I live, I want to be more involved in the community. Like, I want to go to town meetings. I want to be involved in the politics of town. Like, I want to affect change in my community. And I feel very torn where we live because I drive here. So I honestly interact with like members of this like community more up here than I do at home.
Yeah.
every community in between here and there, though, I've heard, don't put your kids in Kaufman. Don't put your kids in Terrell. Don't, like, it's
It's
just
everywhere, dude.
so it's like,
Don't buy a Toyota Corolla. You know?
there's no middle ground of like, oh, I'll move to Kaufman and it'll cut my drive in half. But then everybody's like, don't put your kids there. Like,
But they say that about Maybank. Where I live in Van Zandt County is the number 4 meth county in America.
No way.
Yeah. And I've lived there my whole life. And how much meth have I done? This much.
how much meth have you even seen?
This much.
Yeah.
I watched Breaking Bad though. That shit's cool.
I don't think it looks like
Someone
that.
started doing
I
that.
don't think it looks like that at Van Zandt
Yeah.
County.
No, it does not. It does not.
99% pure. No.
So I mean, like even when we were talking about like looking at cars, you can trust the statistics so much, and you talk to people, but ultimately, like some people are gonna have a good experience. Carly, you ask her about Maybank High School, she tells you it's the worst high school in America.
Yeah, she's stressed about registering Lily. She hated it.
She hated it so much. I went there, I freaking loved it.
Yeah,
killed
same
it.
thing.
Freaking killed it.
I had a great time at that school.
So it's literally there's no right answer with the schools. I don't
Are
think.
y'all close to one another?
Like 10 minutes from each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all both take the same.
Yeah,
For the most part, yeah.
I live 10 minutes farther from the gym than he does. Every day. What is your take on the city? We've been talking about the country. What's your take on living in suburban?
I like it,
Yeah,
but that's all I've ever known too. Like I've never lived in the country,
yeah.
so
What's the biggest perk?
I could live like where your in-laws live.
they would say they have like acre land, like an acre lot, and a little bit of stuff to take care of, pool, whatever, spaced out a little bit more.
Yeah. They have HOA there?
No,
Nice.
actually, I don't think so.
Because the properties are very like different, which usually means there's not a HOA because there's no like
I don't
rules.
think so. I don't think there is actually.
Cool.
But
I haven't know how to touch toes.
what were we talking about before that? You
You're
asked me a
just-
question.
Just like what you would say, like the perks of living in a suburban
perks.
area, and
I
downfalls.
mean, you kind of named it already. I mean,
Yeah, like when we
there's,
see y'all post that y'all are at North Side, like
we're close to
couple times a
everything.
month, and
We're
like,
close to everything.
Is
Always.
it more expensive though?
What?
Like,
Living there?
well, and also like having to pay for the fun of going out all the time. You know what I mean? Like you have to pay.
We don't go out that much.
Yeah, you're not like
Like we could go to the north side and not spend a dime.
really.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
you can go let the kids run around, hang
Just let
out.
the kids run. You can get a drink
Get
if you
a-
want.
yeah.
You don't have to eat there.
Yeah,
That's fair.
You have to think about our gas too.
I'm saying like, I mean, where I'm living, when I bought my house, all that stuff is very affordable.
yeah.
Now it'd be a little different story just because everything's so appreciated, but yeah, it's totally doable.
With gas prices right now, I spend about $9 a day getting to work.
That's it? Dude, I'm putting $20 in my tank every 2 days.
Yeah, I don't drive a freaking 5.7 liter Hemi.
What do you
I
get,
drive a Honda Accord for a reason.
You get like 35.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, actually. Holy shit.
Well,
Yeah, I fill up like twice a week, so probably like $60 a week.
so it's
Yeah, I
about
put like
200,
20, 30 bucks in.
it's about 200,
maybe a week.
$200 a month. But at one point when Carly was driving up here every day, we were spending about $1,000 a month on gas.
See, that's crazy.
We did,
She's in a Silverado that gets 16 miles per gallon, but she has to have it for work.
we do like $400 to $500 a week, or a month,
Yeah.
depending on her.
Did you grow up in Rockwall?
No, I grew up in Maybank. Steven grew up in Rockwall.
So that's so confusing. So when did your parents move to the house that was here for a while? Right over here.
They had a place in Signal Ridge. They had a place in Signal Ridge, but they never got rid of their house in Maybank.
Gotcha.
So that's this neighborhood, right?
Signal Ridge is down there by the harbor.
Oh, shit,
The
boys,
condos.
The condos.
Then who was Steven's? Steven was always with this kid then.
Ethan.
Right?
Ethan. Yeah.
Okay, that's his house right over there.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, dude, I'm so
And he practically lived with them.
yeah. Yeah, 'cause he was there all the time.
Yeah.
So
I think
just
I was-
figured that's where y'all.
I think if I was in your setup, I think it'd be good because you got family here in town. You got both in-laws on both sides, close. So and then you got, like you said, you got all the kids, but there's all the options for like different elementary schools, different activities.
Well, you don't get a choice on elementary school.
Really,
Like you're going where you're zoned.
Oh, that's fair. Well, that's how we are. Shit.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But, it's also,
But there's
you also
also
have-
like 21 elementary schools in Rockwall ISD.
So divvies it up well, and you also get like so many like extracurricular activities that we don't get. Like, you know what I mean?
that's
Like,
what I was about to say. That's what gets expensive.
Your kids playing flag football? Nope.
See, that's what
there's
gets
football there.
expensive
Is
though.
there?
Is
Yeah.
like around here too. Is like all my kids are in camps this summer. Like Kyler's doing a strength and conditioning camp, gymnastics camp,
Yeah.
cheer camp, and there's all these camps and stuff doing football, soccer, cheer. All that shit adds up pretty quick. But at the same time, like
it's what you
worth
value.
it,
It's what you
yeah.
value. Yeah, like in the country in the summer. I never went to camp personally, and I was very fortunate. We did the circus too, so I had a very unique environment at home because I was gone a lot, so I wasn't like stuck in the country. Like
Yeah.
that's why I'm not very like redneck. I don't know how he avoided it, but he just did. He just,
Ryan was talking to one of his moms. She came to the gym to get something from Ryan. She's like, yeah, her daughter was like 9. She's like, she's going to be gone for 6 weeks.
where the hell's she going?
Some camp.
That's kind of crazy.
Dude, I was a camp kid. My parents forced me to go to camp.
Just shipped you
Get
out.
the fuck out of here.
that's freaking amazing,
Well,
guys.
because it was either that or I was gonna stay inside. Like I was addicted to PlayStation.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
they did it for your own good, then yeah.
like all the people up here send their kids to Sky Ranch, and I can't imagine what that costs. That place is freaking.
That was fun though.
I bet. No, I always wanted to go to camp. I saw them fucking movies and stuff. Kids at camp just having a blast, and I'm like slaving away
all
selling
camps I
cotton
went to were
candy and
church
snow
camp.
cones at a circus.
I only ever went to church camp. Those were not fun.
I never went to church camp either.
Dude, I went to one camp. I did Boy Scout camp. They had a blob.
you're
You done a blob?
No.
Bro, you ain't living till you done a blob.
I know. That's what. That was like the number one draw.
Like a 20-foot drop on the blob. And
dude.
Send you.
Can we go to adult camp? They have those. Have you seen that? They have like adult summer camps.
Do you think Sky Ranch does one? Like,
Not like weird in a
fall
way. It's just
Like
like
swinger camp.
They made it weird.
you made it weird,
Yeah, I
man.
made it weird. I don't want to swing. I want like hey, we have like a cabin with. I mean, I guess you couldn't do like
I
other
think that's
couples
called
because that'd be swinger.
swinger.
those are called state parks, Jesse.
Yeah, but they're not organized. I want someone to like give
We
me.
need team leaders.
Exactly. I need someone to tell me like this is the activity for today and
Mess halls at
I fucking-
noon.
Dude, I would have thrived because I love activities. Like I fucking.
Dude, you would have been a great camp counselor.
I would, yeah, dude.
Never too late, Jesse.
I honestly, for a little bit, considered the job route of being a tour guide at like a state park, like giving like guided tours. I'd fucking love that. Hey guys, let's go. So today we're gonna learn all about this mountain, and and like just go in the whole spiel.
You so
you
tired
can
of it.
stay that enthusiastic all day, every day.
Yeah, have you met me? It's my job.
He does
About
it.
the
He
same-
does it all day.
Yeah,
every
but it's
day.
variance. The workouts change. The people change.
And he stays
It's
the
the
same.
same fucking.
It's like the circus, but okay, but it's
That's
different.
true.
You gotta think
It's
it's
the
like the
same
circus.
amount.
The circus, the show's the same every time. The same every time. So you just put it on, dude.
You don't change your routine every season.
Oh, fuck that. Well, that's a work. You learn one thing and you do it till you die. No, but I don't know. I just thought that would be fun. But then I thought about it and I was like, we don't have any state parks near here. The big thing that stops me from moving always is family.
Yeah,
That's important.
Like I just don't want to be.
You definitely gotta do it before you have kids.
Well,
if you're gonna just take off, like Steven said, they would love to move to Colorado. Don't have kids first.
But also, like my family's not affluent enough to come travel to see me all the time.
Yeah.
Like if I had a affluent family, like the freaking Joneses, hell yeah, I'd move to Aspen. They can come fucking fly there every week if they want to see me.
That's,
and fly back. So like that is a big like if everyone in my family made money, hell yeah, I'd move to the mountains or the beach or whatever. But as it is, it's like man, we just got to make it work for
But
everybody.
that was a big part of why we moved back because Carly was waiting tables at Chili's. She worked a double every Saturday and Sunday, so she was gone literally like 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. So I was just go to Maybank by myself
Really?
every weekend, or sit in that house by myself every weekend. I didn't have friends in this area. I didn't talk to anybody in my neighborhood, so I just sit there.
I think you
I'd go
have.
sit at Chili's at the bar with her while she was bartending.
You're so stop being so sad. Look at you now.
That's why we moved
Look
back
at you
to
now.
Maybank.
No one's paying you to talk, but they should be.
They should be.
We're working on that. I stole my whole thoughts.
I heard. Good.
What I was gonna say is because like you're in an awesome situation. Y'all are all already up here. You all can afford it because you got in at a good time. So I think as like a parent, like at the time when it's like, all right, when can I upgrade my life to making it where now my kids are gonna have that, and then I'll be there near my kids, but they get to live in a city and like or live in a nicer area. Like you got to make that jump at a certain point, I guess. Like so, my parents when they pass inevitably, it's gonna happen, and maybe not before me. Who knows? But eventually they'll pass, right? So then I'll be in my house with my kid and my wife, and then really nothing holding me there,
Right.
except maybe other family. But y'all are gonna be coming up here probably forever. So like at that point, it's like, all right, maybe now's the time to move and like make new roots because the roots here have kind of gone, and that way my kids, when I'm grandpa, they can be in the city and I can be nearby, but we're in a nicer place and they don't feel that need to have to get away from me. Or even if it's moving to Colorado or whatever, but making it like where it's, because you got to set your kids up at some point, like there's got to be like you don't want them going, well, I'd leave Maybank, but I don't want to leave my parents.
Yeah, for
Like that's hard on kids. Like your brothers do it, but you guys are there, because you want to be there for your family and stuff. And they drive back a lot. So it's just it's a time, I think it's a time in your life thing. And right now for both of us, the country is like where our
That's why
our roots are.
We've had to make friends with like the cheer parents out there because like we have to get away from just mom and dad. Like,
Well, people are cool. Just because they're country people doesn't mean they're bad.
no,
Ain't nothing cooler about the people up here, really.
you just have to influence them like to eat better. You don't just go and like, well, what are y'all having for dinner? It's like, no, we're gonna come and we're gonna hang out and we're gonna cook. Like,
I have a hard time making friends. Me and Amanda, We're not friendly people.
What do you mean?
Like I'm a no.
Hey,
no, hear me out.
He's not telling any lies right now.
No, it's like I'm the friendliest motherfucker you ever met. Like when we interact, like in a short term, but like having like deep relationships with friends. Like when's the last time we hung out outside of work?
You tell me, buddy.
Exactly.
You don't love me.
I'm not a friend. I'm not a good friend. I'm not a hey. Like you have all sorts of good friends. Like you said, Brett texts you once a week. You know how many friends I text once a week that are close?
It has taken me.
I've become more.
We're
like
right
that.
here.
I've become more like that too, though.
Like you
Yeah,
have.
but I started my adult life like that. Like I didn't even have a friendly personality, and I was an asshole. I didn't want to fucking talk to people.
But you put work into relationships. So like you text Jacob, you text John, you text your cousin. Like you have people you text at least on the weekly, right?
Yeah.
I don't have one person like that in my life except y'all.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You were talking about like uprooting your life. Like your parents are really it.
No,
like,
for sure.
Y'all don't even hang out with us that much.
No,
we're
like,
10 minutes away because like we're doing our thing, y'all are doing your thing. Like,
And and I guess we're just in our head. We're always doing our own thing. Like we're never like, hey, it's Tuesday, let's go see friends. Ever. It's like always a weekend thing.
Well,
I
like,
think that's also y'all's productive mindset. Like y'all are very productive people, productive.
I'm at home. I'll be watching a TV show. Like
No, I'm saying like just being fitness leaders. Y'all are productive oriented people.
love that.
So you think health choices as well. Whereas like a lot of my friends that I just don't talk to anymore, the only reason is because the only time I can see them is if we go out.
Right.
We go drink.
That's
They're
true.
like, I don't want to do that.
that's the thing I was about to say is like me and Lacey don't do that either. Lacey has friends from like cheer moms and stuff like that that she'll hang out with on occasion and stuff. We don't go out with anybody and do anything. Cause like if I'm working for 12 hours, I want to go home and just go home.
for sure.
I don't want to go hang out with people.
I want people to come to my place, and I guess it's just not the most accessible place because it's far, like from everything. So like, I'd rather people come to my place. But then Amanda's like, she has to also be in the mindset of let's have people come over because she's kind of like
It's very taxing on you.
yeah, like, and we just have never made a concerted. When we were in our young 20s, and like we had Chris and Candace, and we had these other friends that we'd go like we'd drive to Colorado and see them, and we'd make essentially make dates with friends. And I literally don't do that anymore.
we had people over on Sunday. Taylor and Jared. Oh my God, their kids were stressing me out so bad. They trashed our house. And then they were like, all right, kids, let's get up and get our shoes on. And I was like, and clean all that shit up first. Like I said it. No. Like my kids will help you, but like they don't do this. Like everything was pulled out all over the living room. Oh God, they were driving me nuts. We like hanging out with them, but like their kids are just monsters.
That happens to me and Amanda too. Like we're like, we'll get a bug up our butt. Like let's make some friends, and then we're like, that was horrible. I hated that. You know.
But see, and
It's not their kids are bad. It's just like when kids get together, they make messes.
Yeah.
And it's like also like I get so much social interaction on a daily basis. I don't need it when I get home and on the weekend.
Yeah, and Amanda doesn't. She has her family, like her mom, her sisters, so she gets that cut filled on that end. Like she's like Nathan in that she'll text people all day. Like she has her people.
The amount that they text, that group of women, the Adriana and all their daughters, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, but
And nobody has to work, right?
I have a haircut at 2:20, so
It's 1:20.
Yeah,
You need to leave. You're gonna be late.
yes, I am. Anyway, so move to the country and then move back to the city.
Never ending.
And then
Back
we can
forth.
have this debate.
Back and forth.
All right, that's-
Thanks for tuning in today to the Father Figure Fitness Podcast. For more info about our producer Chase and the owner of Rockwell Recording Studio, visit www.cha5e.me.
Visit www.rockwallrecordingstudio.com for more details. The best place to reach us and ask questions is on our Father Figure Fitness page. It's on Facebook. It's a private group, but we have a lot of dads in there that we talk about all the things pertaining to your fitness. So if you have any questions, find us there and ask them, and we'll answer them on our podcast. Thanks, guys.